Hey everybody, it's Kelly O'Black with this week's Free Flow Wednesday. This is our inspiration piece for the week. And those buildings in that upper right corner really made me think of vertical lines. And that's where I'm going to start my scrapbook layout. So I found this photo of my grandson who is literally trying to climb the bay window in their house. He's actually 7 or 8 months older than this picture, and he still tries to do that. So anyway, that really made me think of the vertical lines in those buildings, so I selected that picture. And then he also happened to be wearing blue pajamas, so that was the other reason, because there's blue in that inspiration board. So that's how this crazy green and brown layout came together from the inspiration piece for the week. So what I did there is I cut that green paper, which is from Doodlebug at the Zoo, and it's called Later Alligator, into a long, narrow green strip. I'm not sure how long I want to make it, but I know I want to really emphasize the vertical of this layout because of the vertical lines of those buildings. I also cut that strip of brown paper, and that little brown alpha paper is from Bella Boulevard Tiny Tots, and it's a flashcards paper. And I love that it has the ABCs on it, because it just makes me think about all the learning he's doing at that age and what he's learning about how you can't really climb a window. So I just thought it was appropriate. I'm now pulling out that little monkey sticker, and that's from Doodlebug. It's the Doodle Pops, and this one is called Monkey Mike, and it's so perfect because I have that great monkey paper from Doodlebug at the Zoo as my background today. That paper is called Hanging Out, and this guy is a little monkey because he loves to climb, so it was so appropriate. All right, now keep in mind I said I want to keep everything vertical. A lot of times I create a fairly large horizontal on the side of a picture with a journaling card. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to try to keep things as vertical as I possibly can so that your eye is always going up. And I'm going to achieve that in a couple of different ways. The first thing there is I have that, this is a true story card. That's from Elle's Studio Cameron, the little snippets Best Buds. And then I also grabbed that cut apart there that says Always an Adventure. That's from Elle's Studio Cameron. I just don't know which one. And now I'm just selecting a few things to go with this, including that little Boys Will Be Boys. That was cut off of the back of the card for the journaling card package. And then the Loveless Life piece there, that little green label, and the label that says Snapshot Details, and then also this Excited About This piece that I'm doing right now are all from Elle's Studio. The Excited About This is actually a printable from, I think, one of their summer collections, but everything else is just like cut aparts and backs of packages and those kinds of things from, and also maybe from their bits and pieces as well too. I just don't, after I've used a lot of a collection, I just cut them all apart, or I just pop them all in one envelope. So that's what I did there. That Rough and Tough that you see up at the top left there is also from Cameron. That is just not going to stay, just so that you know that. I liked it and I try to use it, but it doesn't work out in the end. So now I have cut down my photo mat piece, and that really stayed pretty vertical. It's obviously not as big as the brown, but it is pretty big. And what I'm trying to do here is get that journaling card to be narrow as I can get it, and still have room to write and still make sense with the piece above it. So now I'm just going to trim a little bit off of some of these cards where I didn't trim them perfectly straight right away. And again, I'm trying to keep the lines here very vertical. So I'm going to build up from the top here. Normally in my style, I probably would only have done maybe one piece or two, but I put a couple of layers on top here because I'm going up. And now I'm just looking for other green pieces that I might be able to put here, or other pieces in general. And I didn't like that green label there, but I did like this little Love This Life. That again was cut off of the back of a journaling card package. And now I'm looking at those labels, and those green labels are going to appear on this layout, but unfortunately I forgot to put them on until after I'd shut the camera off. So make sure you look for those. I put a couple in, well, at least one in each sort of embellishment area. And you'll see that in the still shots at the end of this. All right, so I'm trying a few other pieces here, and that camera was just too big. It was taking too much attention away from the photo. One of the reasons I want that monkey there, other than he's darn cute, is that it also calls attention to the photo. It really focuses you in because it's such a different piece than anything else on here. Now I'm trying to get a little bit of blue, more blue into the place by the journaling card, but that's too big. And then I decided to take that rough and tough off of the top because, again, I wanted everything vertical. I didn't want to draw your eye away from the vertical lines that I'm creating with the embellishment and the photo mat here. I'm thinking right now about putting it on the bottom, but I'm kind of waiting because I don't know until I see how my title fits. Again, I found that little blue. It's kind of like a banner clip piece. I didn't do that though. I just left it as kind of a die cut, and I like that little spot of blue. And now I'm thinking I might want some more blue, and I like that star there. I'm kind of playing around with it and liking that. I did like this little sticker about little tykes, but that ends up not making it on there. I think something about little tykes, or I don't remember exactly. And then I found that little A to Z banner. That's from the Bella Boulevard Tiny Tots collection. It's the trinkets. It's just a little sheet of stickers there. Okay, so I'm gluing down what I know right now. And now I know I need a title. So I just happened to look over, and the perfect brown letter stickers were sitting in my little basket right to my left hand. And those are from Sassafras. They're the chocolate glitter alpha. You can't get these anymore. They're fairly old, but I hadn't used a ton of these, and I really like the color. It's perfect for this layout. So I know I want my title to be He's a Climber, with a little exclamation point there. So I'm just going to kind of play around to get an idea of where that can go. And I took the banana off just because I don't want to lose that piece. And I do have that little star, but I'm going to move that around depending, kind of like, it'll depend on where my how my title fits in that bottom, on the bottom of the photo mat. So at first I thought I was going to do the He's a in these My Mind's Eye letters, but as you can kind of see this, it's really kind of the He's a being in that light blue font really calls too much attention to itself, for my taste anyway. I thought that you know, it was a little bit too light on that photo mat. So I just go back to the Sassafras letters. Plus I think they'll fill up the space a little bit better. And I'm just making sure that like the banana can fit on there and make some sense here. So I liked the way that looked. So I'm going to use the bottom line of these scallops in this paper to line my title up. And I did not have to MacGyver one letter, which is what I call, Sarah Swan calls creating letters out of other letters MacGyvering. So I've adopted that as well. But I didn't have to MacGyver one letter here because I had plenty. Okay, so now that I have the climber there. I'm going to add in like the dots for the eye and the exclamation point. And I know about how I want that to go. So again, I'm using the bottom of one of the scallops here to just line everything up. And you'll see, if you know my work, this is really pretty vertical for me. Normally, I definitely would have put something up in that top left corner, and there's no way I would have probably made things as heavy on the top of this and top of this picture. Now, I also could have probably put some more die cuts underneath the monkey if I'd wanted to get a little bit more blue over there, but I actually kind of like the way he's just emphasizing things all on his own there. All right, so I did add some foam tape behind that star, and I like the way that looks. It pops it up with some dimension like the monkey. And right now what I'm trying to do is find the right shade of yellow enamel dots, because that banana is pretty prevalent, and I want to bring some more yellow in there. There is, you know, there's yellow in the banana on that pattern paper, but I really want to get some more in here so that it doesn't look so, like it doesn't stick so completely far out. And those enamel dots are from the Freckled Fawn. They're from an Oh Dear Me kit, and I think they were from more like a Halloween or October line, but they're a couple years old. They're a couple years old, and I had never used any, which is awful. But I have now. So I'm just kind of playing around with putting 3 in each of the embellishment areas there. All right, here's a still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you're all well, and we'll be back with another layout again soon. Bye!